Afternoon YouTube, it is I, Danielle, better known as Danielle Happy Medium, and in this particular video, a topic that's up for discussion today, we're going to take a look at sitting in the power, the techniques that I use and the hints and tips I can give you to help you improve your technique, and how sitting in the power can help your mediumship and understanding you more as the Buddha medium, the more professional medium, or just those who are trying to find their blend better with the spirit world. There is a lot of confusion in the industry about what sitting in the power is. So first and foremost, I'm going to break that down for you. Sitting in the power is an opportunity to understand your energy better. What can happen, or what we can do, is then use that technique to move it over in order to connect to guides or to loved ones. But ultimately, sitting in the power is understanding your energy better in order so that you understand what is yours and what isn't yours. Sitting in the power is one of the less used techniques in the industry, but one I think is the most beneficial for any Buddha medium or professional or anybody out there who's looking in to strengthen that link with the spirit world, strengthen that link within themselves, and helping them to understand more about energy, your energy, and the differences or things that may change within the energy field when you're working or when you're sitting for yourself or the spirit world. So let me give you some of the hints and tips that I give to my students in order so that they get the best from their sitting in the power technique. The first tip I need to give you is finding somewhere that is quiet. Finding somewhere that isn't traffic light and you're not going to be disturbed. Why? Because there's ultimately no point if you're going to keep getting disturbed when you're sitting. Next thing, making sure that you've let go of the walking world. So that means giving yourself a couple of minutes before you even shut your eyes, just to sit in the chair, just sort of take a load off, just sort of take it easy, if that makes sense. The third one I want to give, sitting in the power, is all about the breath. Learning to understand the breath will help you to understand your sitting in the power technique better. The breath is what controls the sitting in the power. It also helps to make sure that you stay with the breath and not with the mind, because sitting in the power is not about the mind, it is about the breath. Fourth, learning to, once you've shut your eyes, constantly keeping this with this will help you to understand your energy more. So what I mean by this is when you're breathing in and when you're breathing out. So imagine that when you're breathing in, you are pushing your energy out. As you're breathing out, you are to just allowing that energy, or to feel that energy. So you take a deep breath in, and then when you breathe out, the auric field or your energy field will expand there. Learning not to allow the mind, to get involved in the breath. The minute this here starts to want to show you images, symbols, it wants to talk to you, the mental chatter, anything like that, you've taken your mind from the breath and has gone back to the mind. I know that probably sounds a little bit weird and wonderful there for people, but that's exactly what you've done. When you're sitting for the power, you're sitting with the breath. The breath will regulate the energy, and the energy will be able to flow because of the breath. If you're starting to see things, hear things, you've taken your mind to the spirit world. That's not what we want to be doing. We want to be keeping the mind with the breath, which is keeping it with your energy. And when we've got an understanding of our energy by the breath and understanding how it feels, what it vibrates like, because remember, sitting in the power is not a visual technique. It is an opportunity to know, feel, and understand. It's an inner calling. It's something that's within your soul. It's something that is inside of you. It's your energy. So you're listening to you through knowing, feeling. That's it. You should not be seeing images. You should not be seeing people. You shouldn't be seeing any of this. It is constantly keeping with the breath. If your mind's starting to think, oh, what do I want to have for my dinner later, or who's there, or I might be with the spirit world now, you've come away from that technique that is sitting in the power. What you're trying to do is quieten this mind enough so that you can understand or go within, is probably the best way I can put it to you. You are going within. So you're going within your soul to understand your energy more, so you understand you more, so that you understand when you do work for the spirit world that this is my energy, This is something that's coming into my energy, which is making me aware. And by using this technique, this will help you to read energy, which is what the spirit world is, energy, and it'll help you to be able to understand more about how to tap into that energy and how to be able to work that energy more when we get to this point. First and foremost, we want to understand us more. We want to understand what makes us tick. We want to understand why we do the journey we do. What is it inside of us? What can we learn from sitting in our own energy? What is it that we need to break down? What is it that we need to be in order to be that better human? What is it that we need to understand more so that we're not fearful of the spirit world? What is it inside of us that's making us fearful? Sitting in the power technique and reading your energy and understanding your energy will help you to understand all of these things. And all of this is done by sitting with the breath. Breathing in, breathing out, taking the mind to the breath, to the lungs, watching the lungs expand and deflate, expand and deflate. And by all this should be done over time. It won't happen overnight. You've got to give it some time and practice. Tip 5, no more than 15 minutes. Any more than 15 minutes, you're probably going to get bored. 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes any other day is enough. That's all I said, 15 minutes. One, because sometimes I just want to check in with me. Other times I need to check in with my people. But because I'm a professional medium, I've already learned to flip the switch, which is a technique that I use here to the channel to help people train. I will put the link at the end there for you to take a look at. Excuse me, I've got a terrible bad chest. But I've already learned to move my consciousness if I need to speak to my guides. But for them that are working out there or those who are just learning, this technique's going to help you be able to eventually become where you are just moving your consciousness, flipping the switch, as I like to say. Tip 6, once you get all of this in place, then you can start and look to maybe bring guides in, loved ones, and ask them to invite them into your energy and then invite them out. I will put the guide section in here where we talk about using guides and getting the techniques of stepping in, stepping out, visuals, things like these. It all can be done through sitting for the power there as well. But always remember, sitting for the power is more about you than it is about the spirit world. All it does is an extension of you understanding you more so that you can understand the blend more when you're working with the spirit world. Sitting in the power is so underused. I love it, honestly. And for those who can't meditate, it's an excellent sort of new way in order for you to be able to do all of the sitting techniques, but without having to go meditative, if that makes sense. So I hope this sort of helps people out there. I am going to be putting a sitting in the power technique up here, which is a sort of a guide for meditate. Wait, it's not meditation. It's like a step-by-step like meditation, but for sitting in the power for you there. And hopefully this will answer a lot of questions I've been getting in the last few weeks about this. And I am going to be doing a few more videos on this technique because I know so many of you are confused or so many of you don't quite understand it. I unfortunately have been away for the last few days, so apologies on the upload there. I am Facebook live this evening, so if you want to join me over on Danielle Happy Mediums page on Facebook, I'm doing a live Q&A over there on Facebook. Bring your questions, I'll certainly do my best to answer them. But for now, hopefully subscribe, hopefully you'll share these videos around, and I'll see you all very, very soon.